Hello and welcome to the video by Trump Excel. I'm Sumit Bansal, and in this video I'm going to show you how to import data from a CSV file into Excel using Power Query. So here I have the data tab, and here I have the from text CSV option, and when I click on it, it opens the import data dialog box. Now I would have to go and spot or locate the file that I want to import. So let's say I have these files here and I have the sales data June. Now I'll import this file, so I would click on import and it opens this preview pane. Now this is not the Power Query editor, this just shows me how the data looks. So here I have the data, it shows me the delimiter, which is a comma because it's a CSV file, and it shows me the data based on the first 200 rows. If you want to see it based on the entire data set, you can do that. Now I can load this data directly into Excel, but before I do that, I want to do a little bit of transformation. I want to remove the alphabets here from the product ID, and I just want the number here. So what I would do is I would click on edit and it will open the query editor with the data. Now see what happens as soon as the data gets into the query editor. I have these applied steps. I have the source data here, which is this one. The second step that Power Query automatically did is promoted the headers, so that it identified that the first row had a different data type as compared to the remaining data set. So this must be the header, and it promoted the first row as the header, and then it changed the data type. So this became date data type, this became text, these became whole numbers. Now, if you are not fine with any of these steps, you can delete these, but in this case, these are all fine. What I want to do is I want to split this column so that I can remove the numeric and the text part. So I would right click on this, go to go to split column, and here I have by numbers of characters. And if I click on it, it opens this dialog box, and here I can specify the number of characters as 2 because I want the split to happen after 2 characters. And when I click OK, see what happens. I have 2 columns here. This column for product ID got split into 2. I can simply come here and delete this, and I can rename this to product ID instead of product ID 2. And that's it. That is all what I want. Now I can go back and close and load the data, and that data would be loaded into the Excel file as a table. This table has the same name as the query. You can go back and change the query name if you want, and you can change the table name here if you want. Now this is all fine, and this you can do this in Excel as well, but what Power Query can do for you is it can automate the process when you have to update the data. So let's say now if I want this data to be for July, the new month, instead of June, I can simply go into Power Query. So I double click on it. Here I go to the source step and I can change the source data. So I would have to change this file path here. I can browse, go back to the same folder where I had all these files, and I would select July, click on import and click OK. And now when I come to the last step, you can see it has updated the data. Here I have these new dates, and now I can simply close and load. So you can see instantly with a few clicks I was able to update the data just by selecting the new file. I didn't have to go through that entire process of splitting the columns or renaming the columns or changing the data types. Nothing. Everything has been done. It is just to be done once, and then you can automate it using Power Query. Another thing that you can do is, let me quickly show it to you. If I go here and I change the data in this sales CSV, which is for July, and if I change these names, so let's say I make these all 1, just to show you that if your data in the file that is already connected with Power Query gets updated, then you don't need to go and repeat that process. You can simply come here, right click on any of the cells, go to refresh and see what happens to the product IDs. As soon as I refresh, the product IDs get updated. So you don't have to update the data, you don't have to do anything. Power Query can simply refresh it with a single click. It will go back to the source file and update the data, refresh the data using that file. So this is how you can import the data from CSV file into Excel using Power Query. That's it in this video. I hope you found this useful. Thank you and have a nice day.